poured over lovingly 800 plus dialog boxes throughout Office to make sure each one is the very picture of the implementation of the Aqua spec. As you can see, there are these native controls. There's fast, responsive feel that you should get from an OS X application. But Aqua is about much more than just beauty. It helps make the applications more discoverable. For instance, by show of hands, how many people actually knew that you could split the screen in Word to be working in 2 different places in a Word doc at the same time? About 11 in the crowd, I think. So with Aqua, we can make that a much more discoverable function. One of the things people really like about Office 2001 is the formatting palette. And so we've added that for Office 10, and it's much improved. You can see that it's photorealistic. We had a lot of fun adding animation so that it's more discoverable how you turn it on and turn it off. The great thing about the formatting palette is it puts the tools that you need right at your fingertips, so you don't even need to go see the great work that we've done inside the dialog boxes. So that's a little bit about Word. We've paid the same great attention to detail in each of our applications. Here's Excel. Excel 10 is, I think, the best looking version of Excel we've ever shipped on any platform. Notice the photorealistic look of the tabs, the nice clean interface on the spreadsheet frame. One of the great things about Aqua is that we could make it much more discoverable where you're actually typing. Believe me, this is actually a problem among Excel users. You can actually lose your place. But with these soft shadows, you'll never do so in Excel 10. So there's Aqua, but there's so much more to OS X than just Aqua. We know you, as Mac users, chose this platform because you want to create the most graphically rich, stunning documents you possibly can. So we combined Office's tools with the power of OS X to enable you to do things you've never been able to do before in Office. You can actually see through that picture right to your data beyond. So that's just some of the things that you can do. One of the big promises that OS X makes is this reliability and stability and multitasking. The OS will deliver the ability for you to multitask between applications. But properly done, applications like Office are going to enable you to multitask within the applications. So I go to save this document and notice something else on the file list that I meant to do. So I can bring up another document, and here I can continue working in my document even while the panel is up on the other document. So your work is never blocked in OS X or in Office for OS X. So I mentioned that we can do all of these great things with graphically rich documents. Let's actually take a look at a little bit of that by opening the drawing toolbar. Office contains over 150 auto shapes. These are just easily drawn common symbols that you use in your documents. You can do this in Office 2001, but the results are so much better in Office X. You see that we can apply these transparencies to give you the power to make documents the likes of which you've never been able to create in Office ever before. You know, I wonder if you could do that in charts. Tell you what, come to my feature presentation tomorrow morning, and I'll show you all about Office X and the raft of other great things that we're doing for Mac OS X. I hope we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Next up is Adobe, and I'm pleased to welcome Shantanu Narayan, Executive Vice President of Worldwide Products and Marketing from Adobe. Welcome, Shantanu.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. It's actually my son's birthday today, and he was very excited about my going to New York, which is always a mixed blessing. But that's because he knew I'd have first-hand information about all the new goodies that would be available soon for him. At Adobe, we believe that we're at the start of a third generation in publishing. We, along with Apple, helped create desktop publishing. The 90s saw web publishing. And there's a new era that Adobe, along with its partners, is labeling network publishing. Network publishing is characterized by the need to be able to access information anytime, anywhere, on any device. And our mission is to help you express your creativity with the help of Apple so that you can have visually rich, impactful communication across print, web, video, and wireless. We're very excited about OS X, and we believe that it's a tremendous opportunity for our joint customers to be able to build and expand their business. We're extremely hard at work, all the product teams, in trying to bring the next versions of all our major applications on OS X. And these aren't just ports. Every one of them will take advantage of the new features available in OS X. And we're very excited about the performance improvements we've seen, as well as the opportunities accorded to us by the gorgeous Aqua interface. To illustrate our commitment to OS X, I'd now like to ask Ted Alschbach to do a demo of 3 of our major applications on OS X. Ted?
Thanks, Shantanu. Well, what I'm showing here on screen for the first time is the version we have of Illustrator under development for OS X. It looks just absolutely gorgeous with the Aqua interface. We've taken full advantage of everything OS X has to offer. We focus not just on new features, but also on performance enhancements. In fact, Illustrator now launches twice as fast as it did under OS IX. What you're seeing on screen right now, yeah, that's fantastic by itself. What you're seeing on screen right now is an artist rendition of Botticelli's Venus. Of course, Botticelli, were he alive today, would be using a Mac and OS X and the latest version of Illustrator to create Venus. And what's amazing about this was done entirely inside Illustrator. So these are all vector objects you can manipulate, can change, but even Venus is surprised that she was created entirely inside Illustrator. I'm going to show you one of the new features that we have planned for this upcoming version of Illustrator, and that's the ability to slice anything you've created inside Illustrator into slices for the web, actually optimize them. So I'm going to go ahead here, selected that logo, I'll choose Slice and Make, and the logo then is sliced into various pieces automatically. What's really nice is that inside Illustrator, you can then set each of those slices to be their own optimization directly inside Illustrator. You don't necessarily have to export at that time, but you can set those slices. You can even set slices not just to GIF and JPEG, but also to SWF and SVG right inside Illustrator. I'm going to save this file, and this file is being saved into the hard drive, and I'm going to pop into our web authoring application, GoLive. And in GoLive, I have a smart object selected here. I'm going to link to that object that I just created. So I've just linked to the Illustrator file. Again, I didn't export it as a raster image. It's actually the native Illustrator image that GoLive is importing. GoLive then gives you the opportunity to further modify those slices in any way that you'd like to. Or you can go ahead and just let it the way it is. It brings it into GoLive. And the real nice thing about this is that if I go back here to my Illustrator document and make a change, so for instance, if I go ahead and maybe just apply a gradient to that and save the file, as soon as I go back into GoLive, that automatically gets updated. What GoLive is doing, it's looking at the original Illustrator file, the vector file, it's re-rasterizing it, resampling it, and re-optimizing it. If I want to make a change later on in GoLive, for instance, I want that word design to possibly have transparency, maybe make it a ping or something instead of the GIF that it's set to now, I can do that, of course, after the fact in GoLive as well. GoLive, of course, also taking full advantage of OS X and its integration between Illustrator and InDesign and other Adobe applications is just phenomenal. I'm also going to show you some other interoperability between Illustrator, and this time between InDesign. And so here's the latest version of InDesign currently under development for OS X. Again, just looks absolutely stunning. We're going to take an Illustrator document, that same one that I was just using inside GoLive, and use it inside InDesign. First thing I'm going to do here is change the opacity down to about 50% in Illustrator. I'll show you the background grid there so you can see it's truly transparent. Then I will just drag that word design inside my InDesign document. I'll go ahead and click yes there, and that pops up inside InDesign. Now you'll notice that it's transparent inside InDesign as well. In fact, the transparency is live. I can drag it around. It interacts with the objects that already exist inside InDesign. So I'll go ahead and put that in place. There's also a lot of other things that can be done inside InDesign as far as transparency. For instance, with that same image I brought in from Illustrator, I can actually change the transparency. Here I'll set the mode to multiply to make it look a little bit better there. I can also add some other great new effects inside InDesign, such as drop shadows. Here I'm applying the drop shadow to an Illustrator object. And I can even apply drop shadows to live text. So I have a live text blocks right here. And drop shadow has been applied to the text. And the drop shadow is actually sticking to the text. It's a transparent drop shadow. These are the sort of innovative features you come to expect from Adobe, and we're really excited to be able to supply these with the new versions of Adobe applications coming out for OS X. And not only does this stuff look great on screen, but we've been working with service providers around the world to ensure that everything you're seeing on screen is going to print and look just as beautiful there as well. So be sure to keep your eye out for all these great Adobe applications and more coming soon to OS 10.
Thank you. Thank you. Next up is Quark. I'm pleased to welcome Brett Mueller, Senior Product Manager from Quark, who's going to show us something really cool running. Welcome, Brett.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you, and thank you for joining us. We have some really exciting stuff to show you today. We actually have a future version of Express that we would like to show you that we have actually not shown publicly. So you're going to see it for the first time here. And it is kind of exciting. This is going to be a future version. This is 5.x. It's running on the 5.0 code base, and our 5.0 product is getting ready for release. It's getting ready for beta right now. So let's go ahead and dig right in. Driving our demo today is Mike Garcia, one of our OS 10 engineers. And what we have here is the cover from Macworld. Now, every month, Macworld and thousands of other titles are published in over 184 languages using Express. A lot of professional publishers rely heavily in their print workflows on Express, and it's very exciting. We'd like to show you a couple specific features here. As we look at this cover, we can go ahead and manipulate layers now. Our customers have been asking for layer control, so you can go ahead and suppress layers, combine layers. It gives you a great tool to go ahead and use for both print and the web. The issue is print publishing has been paying a lot of the multimedia or media-independent publishing drive. It's been paying the way for the web. And so we've got to give those print users a way to go to the web easily, and we'll get into that in a minute. If we look down at the bottom here, we have, by the way, this is the issue that's out in the stands out there. There's a really good article here on printers. And you can see that there's a table up here in the right-hand page. Well, for years people have been asking, well, what about tables? Well, now we can give you tables. Right in Express, you can build tables, and not just statistical tables with text and numerical data. You can go ahead and use this as a design element. So if we switch, let's say, between layers, our art director can see different layouts right there. For instance, he can go ahead and combine those cells. Mike's going to go ahead and grab that. We can select cells, combine them, turn them into text or picture cells. This gives us a great design tool. Let's go ahead. We have new context menus that come up here. Go ahead. We can go ahead and actually create just about anything you can do artistically in Express with colors and dashed lines, etc. You can now do in a table cell, and you can use all your paragraph and character style sheets. Now, this gives us some really powerful tools. But what about going to the web? Okay, with over 700 active developers and 1,300 extensions out there, you can do just about anything you want with Express. But natively inside Express, I'm very pleased to show you now for the very first time, building web pages right in Express using the tools you know, and now showing it on OS 10. Very exciting. Mike is opening up what is really going to be a web page. Now we could go ahead and populate this, put content in through XML with the XML tools that are available in Express, or we can just drag and drop it across. Print to web. How long will it take print designers to learn this? Well, Mike's an engineer, he's doing it. So, yes, it's not just for breakfast anymore. So Mike goes ahead and pulls this across. Now what we're going to do here in just a second, we're going to click one button. It's going to collect all of the style sheet data. It's going to port it to HTML with all our cascading style sheets, and it'll take all of our print-ready images, it might be TIFFs or EPSs, convert those on the fly to JPEGs or PNGs or GIFs, your choice, and it'll do it without Photoshop or any other third-party application. We're going to create valid HTML. So let's go ahead and do it. One button click, it's going to launch the browser. I think we're using Internet Explorer, which is native on OS 10. Comes up, there's our web page. It's that fast. It is that easy to go from print to web. The exciting thing about this is really what media independent publishing is supposed to be about. You go from your current content that's making a lot of money to new media that you're going to hope is going to be making money out there to then other media. Now there's a whole lot more to show you, but we don't have a whole lot of time. So we look forward to talking to you. Thank you so much. Have a great show.